I call the meeting of order. For Board of Health meeting for July the 13th. First, let's pledge allegiance to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for
Call the roll, please.
all. All right, we have Michelle Finelli, Al Etzel,
Yeah, here.
Darren Anderson, Dr. Goldberg,
Present.
and myself, George Needles, present.
And if there is anybody online from the public and have any comments on the agenda items, we'll listen to them now. Hearing none, we'll move on to the minutes. We'll consider a motion for the minutes. Anybody wish to have you read the minutes? Okay. You make a motion?
Second.
Darren seconded. Anybody have any comments on the minutes? Hearing none, all those approved, please say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion is approved for the minutes. Next, we'll have the health inspector's report. No questions for Michelle? If not, then we'll move to the township report.
All right. Thank you. So the summer program, we usually talk about further in depth with property maintenance. We've had a very busy property maintenance year. It's similar to what we've experienced in the past. Lots of the high grass debris. So if you see that out in the neighborhood, please go to our website. You can report a concern on the top right-hand corner of the website. There's a button to report a concern. If you send it into the license and inspections department, someone can get out and take a look at that right away. We can get on top of these items before they become health hazards, which is really the goal of the license and inspection code enforcement department and these responses to handle these situations before they get to a public health matter. In addition, we've hired recently some new department heads in the township. We now have a director of finance, Marco Benelli. We also have a new director of license inspection, William Gavin. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get out tonight. But what I will be doing is sending out contact information to everybody on the board and kind of little synopsis of who they are, what they do, and how they interact with public health in the community. Other than that, any questions anybody might have? Very hands-on, likes to get out into the community, which is great.
Hearing no public comment, we'll move on to member comments. Michelle?
I have comments. Recently, delivering more than the national average, but who knows what the future has in store for us. So we'll continue to be the advocates of promoting some powers to be and make some decisions. If we need to return the mask, but I know in some larger cities, contemplating for the other things.
Yeah, just in response, so what we've been doing is just monitoring information that comes in from the health department and from the State Department of Health. And we sift, we're still getting, we don't get a regular COVID update like we were during the height of the pandemic, but we do get information probably about once a month, kind of, where things are at. We sift through that to see, where we're at and what needs to be pushed out and how we can, be prepared. And, you're absolutely right. Some of the larger cities are starting to see spikes and going back to masking and things like that. So, it's just really be cognizant of the situation out there, right?
Dr. Goldberg, you have any comment?
First, are you able to hear me? I just want to make sure my microphone is on.
Yes, we can.
Good. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing increases in numbers, probably the subvariants that are out there. But on the good side, the hospitalization rates are down, the mortality rates are down. So people are getting it, and I'm asking them, well, what symptoms did you have? Well, for a day, my nose was running, I had a little scratchy throat, and we tested, and everyone had it. And the next day, we felt good. So I'm hearing more of that than anything else, but it is increasing. More people are coming down with it. Unclear if the vaccine does much or maybe mitigates the severity perhaps, but certainly is not blocking it entirely.
Dr. Goldberg, is there any recommendation at this point in time on a fourth booster?
I haven't heard anything about that, especially considering, that hasn't been entirely effective as it is. There is another vaccine of some sort that just came out that we're hearing something on. So that may come into play soon, but I don't think there's been too much talk at this point of additional boosters. It may at some point come about to be a yearly shot of some sort is possibly where this whole thing may end up over the next few years. Nobody knows for sure yet.
Is it possible that we will shift from vaccine to medication?
It is, although even there, the medication so far is not fully effective, and the antivirals really at this point indicated for high-risk patients, and some people are even, I think even Dr. Fauci had some relapse after he took a course of it. So that's unclear at this point as well. Certainly, I'm sure there's many things in development, and the day may come that there is a very good antiviral or combination product that'll stop the whole thing. But if you look at the yearly flu, that really hasn't come about, and that's been around for quite a long time. So we do have the Tamiflu and antivirals, but they don't really stop it. No one can prevent it, and there's no full treatment. And there's many people that succumb every year to the regular flu. So it may end up something along those lines ultimately. Time will tell.
Thank you.
Yep.
Are there any other comments, questions?
Yeah, the only other comment that I had was, I think that was Dr. Bobo that was speaking. Yeah, I just heard of the new most recent vaccination for pneumonia. And I guess it's a one-time shot for a lifetime. So I didn't know if the broader medical community is starting to promote this. I just heard it from a colleague of mine that's a pharmacist. So I don't know. Are they recommending that because we realize that COVID is an upper respiratory infection and it may increases your likelihood if you did have symptoms or begin to become exacerbated, that pneumonia can become one of those side effects. But something I guess for us to monitor, and maybe when we have our next meeting, and Dr. Goldberg probably get a little bit more of a medical debrief than what we get.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any comment, Dr. Goldberg?
As far as a pneumonia vaccine, I mean, the pneumonia vaccine is recommended in those over 65 or with chronic pulmonary cardiac disease, and that's been around for a while. And certainly without that on board, if you're older and catch COVID, then secondary infections and other things you're more at a risk for. So it's always a good idea.
Thank you. If there's no other comments, at this point, I'll take a motion to adjourn. Joe,
Motion to adjourn.
second? All fair say aye?
Aye.
We are adjourned.